You want me to lean it over? Or do you want to switch sides? I'll lay you down first. Up. You want a sheet too, or just this?
Just this for now.
Tell them when you do your four.
Why'd you turn the music down?
I will. Or my dad will be mad. Alright, so almost forgot, but glad I didn't. We wanted to record a video before tonight ended. Technically tonight ended. So I'll have to make it quick. But
So that the music's down.
okay, I'll turn it down. About that.
Okay, as long as they can hear us.
Well, what do you want to say?
I don't know, you wanted to do the video.
It's when you do Jessica update.
Well, what was the last time I knew?
The last thing that you updated was, I think,
When was the last thing you updated?
this morning. Oh, I uploaded videos about the kids and the Easter thing, and then when they prayed for you and when we all prayed for you.
Okay. What did I don't understand. What do they not know?
No one knows, or not no one, but most people don't know about the third MRI. Most people don't know about what was found on the third MRI. Most people don't know about your vocal cord. So let's say MRI and what was found. Vocal cord. You should probably talk about the new thing in your leg, in your left leg. And I would just say how you feel overall, in light especially of like being in the gym today. So let's start with the MRI.
So I got an MRI, and I couldn't make it through the whole MRI, but I got enough that they were able to see that it looks like the infection is completely gone. So we don't have to worry about me having a second stroke and dying. So that's
Amen. Praise God.
good. They did confirm that it was a spinal stroke, which is like
The second confirmation as well.
a very, very rare thing to happen. He said normally it's a very difficult thing to overcome, but he said that given where I'm at, his prognosis is still the same, that I'm gonna make a very full recovery.
He said there's 100% chance of you
Given his calculation,
giving his
walking within
prognosis that you would walk in here. I don't think he said the word full recovery.
a year. That was a different thing.
That's what we're believing for.
Yeah, this shirt feels. I feel like this is not right. In the back, can you like lift me forward and fix me?
Yep. Like that?
Mhm.
Better?
Hopefully, pull it down so it doesn't look like I'm.
Sure.
There you go.
So it looks like you don't care about style.
Yeah. So look like a haggard mess.
No, you don't. You look beautiful.
I don't even know the last time I got my hair washed.
I do. It was
Don't look at it too closely.
it was like the third night before we left Hotel San Antonio.
It's like a week.
About almost.
Anywho, so they also stuck a camera down my nose to my vocal cords and found that my right vocal cord was paralyzed during the operation. But there's options I can do, and it's possible it could come back within a year. And it's not time sensitive, so not really something we're going to worry about right now.
I vaguely remember Dr. Yi saying something about your vocal cords might get damaged because of how tight of a space it was. And they had to intubate her, which means stick a tube down her
Yeah,
throat
he
to
doesn't
breathe
believe
for
it
her.
was the intubation that caused it. It's the surgeon who pushed it to the side. Anywho, again, not something we're gonna worry about right now. The fact that I actually have a voice is pretty astonishing. So what's happening is my left vocal cord is compensating and going 110% so that I get some type of voice out, which is good. So for right now, it works.
And you sound sexy.
And I got a sexy smoker voice. I did my first real OT, occupational therapy, and physical therapy today in the gym, and I loved it. It's like having a personal trainer. Probably my favorite part of the day. I'm going to see if I can add one more session for Saturdays.
Why?
Because why just sit in a bed when you can be working out?
That's right. That's right.
I think OHL helped me in that area, so it's a good thing I took it before.
Aren't you all in this bed because of OHL?
I jokingly say that, yes.
It was during OHL that she had that dream about the worms that I shared about.
Just kidding, Adrian. I love the program. What else, babe?
There was the MRI, the vocal cord, and you want to talk about your leg? Your left leg?
Yesterday when I did OT, they stuck these things on my hand. These Iron Man things. They look like Iron Man things, but they're gray.
Like,
It's called E-stem, electrical stimulation or something, and it opens my hands and closes them, my fingers, and it did it for both. And the therapists were very surprised by how well my hands responded, so that's a good thing. And I got to do that for 30 minutes. Then today they did it on my leg, which was pretty cool. And what was really cool is that I actually helped it, and you could see it. So when I was helping it along, my leg kicked even higher.
this is her leg that right now,
Doesn't
sitting
move.
still, it moves slightly in the muscle up near her quad area. But during this thing, this Iron Man leg thing, I just touched it a little bit.
No, my shirt still feels funny, but it's okay. I don't know what's going on. I just feel uncomfortable. It's okay.
I'm sorry. So there was the leg thing. You were saying that you can, like, beyond just the kicking, there was something else about your leg. Beyond you being able to help them when that thing was attached.
It's a thing called ghost movements, I think, and it happened in my right hand from the beginning, where your brain can move your hand, and it feels like it's really moving, but when you look down, it's not moving at all. But it legit feels like you can feel the blanket underneath it. You can feel all the normal, but when you look down, it's not moving. So this foot
Or leg, right? Or the foot.
Today I can do that, very intense. So I think that's a good sign.
Which might sound normal to someone who doesn't understand, but before you said it was like your leg didn't even exist anymore, right?
Correct.
In your mind. It's like it.
You couldn't connect it.
Mhm.
So the fact that I'm able to connect that it's there and have ghost movements, I think that's a positive sign.
Definitely. I bet if Rick was here and he did all his magic where he would have you close your eyes, and he, like when we had your right leg move, just that was the beginning of your right leg, and now you can do this with your ankle, you can move your toes, you can pull your knee all the way up, or very far up anyways. I bet you we should play around with this table tomorrow on some plastic and to lower the friction and see if I can get your leg to move. Or we should call Rick up and be like, hey, you want to do a side job? Have him swing by. Rick, if you see this, please figure out a way to get a hold of us. Yeah, it's alright. I'll fix it afterwards. I don't want to accidentally show anything.
I think you're doing it the wrong way.
What else? Mentally, you mentioned working on that was cool, but like, where are you at mentally? Because the first couple days, well, we're still in the first couple days, aren't we? Isn't this like the third full day?
Third day.
But the first couple, that would be few. The first couple were very dark and very hard for you.
The nighttime is very hard. I can't sleep, so I'm awake pretty much all night, which is probably the hardest, and I get the most frustrated. And I dread it when the sun starts to go down. When I wake up, I feel pretty upset. It's not until I get into like physical therapy that I start to come alive, I think. And when Stephen gets here and stuff. Yeah.
I think what's really cool about physical therapy, I mentioned this before, but I don't know if it was on one of these videos or not, is that it's the one activity, and that's what really all this rehab's about, or at least a lot of it, where you literally have to walk by faith and not by sight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, move your leg without looking at it, but imagine it's moving. And I just think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. The just shall live by faith. We walk by faith and not by sight. And as you're doing those things, your body's reawakening. It's pretty cool to watch.
Oh, do you want to talk about 4AP?
Yeah, sure. There's a medication that the doctor had her start.
Well, it hasn't started yet. But...
Oh, you didn't take one yet today? It's called 4AP, the number 4 and the letters A and P, like Alpha, Papa. And it's supposed to kind of, the doctor said it's like turning up the electricity in your nervous system so that, two things. He said, one, things that are going to recover faster. He said also things that perhaps would not recover at all will. Mm-hmm. To me, it sounds like drinking your coffee in the morning or your tea or whatever, and getting your like jolt of energy. Maybe not the best example, but something like that. And it's really safe. They use it for MS patients a lot, and it's approved by insurance companies for MS because there's so much research. But I believe because spinal strokes are so rare, and just spinal injuries in general, for using this specific medication is not as widely tested. The insurance companies use it as an excuse to not pay for it, but the studies that have been done show it is very safe and all that kind of thing. And these are obviously just the natural things that we're talking about here. This is a supernatural thing that's happening, and we're being submissive and humble before the medical staff and the doctors, and not necessarily just doing everything that gets thrown at us, but doing basic risk assessment and deciding, okay, is this something that we should do or not? Like, should Jessica take melatonin if she can't sleep during the night?
Yeah, which I did, and it didn't work.
Or Ambien or something, right? Which I don't think you have that ordered right now anyways.
No, they gave me a different one that doesn't have the side effects. But that didn't work either.
Yeah, so...
They also gave me Norco. That didn't work either.
Ow.
They also gave me something for my leg pain. Or my leg, like, overstimulation.
Yeah, so she gets, like, restless leg syndrome, kind of what people call growing pains type feeling, like when you're growing and your legs just hurt.
Yeah, but you can't move, so...
Yeah, I've watched you get so frustrated.
Last night I was almost crying in pain. Because this one was overstimulated and going nuts. This one wanted to move, had growing pains. I would say it was like a level 6 or 7 pain.
Hey, you left out a major detail about the MRI.
I said there's no infection.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I was zoned out for a minute. Or maybe, I don't know what it was. That's a huge deal, babe.
No, it is a huge
deal. You didn't go on and on about it, so that's how I missed it.
They said we don't have to worry about me dying or getting a second stroke.
That, I remember you saying those parts. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that no infection was found.
But I'm still staying on the antibiotics.
The reason that's crazy is how large it was. The frontal abscess had tripled in size by the second MRI.
The doctor here said when he saw the second MRI that was done over at San Antonio, he said, "You got big-eyed," and said, "Yeah, it was bad. I could see why they wanted to rush you to surgery."
And thank God we didn't. She has all her spine back here still that they wanted to shave off. To do a laminectomy, I think is what it's called. To give room for the spinal cord so the infection could grow. So she could live a little bit longer until it hit that point. Oh, I'm so glad we didn't do that. You wouldn't even be able to lay like this, I don't think. At least you wouldn't have for a long time while that all healed up.
I'm just so glad it's gone. Makes me very happy.
Yeah, so there's the frontal abscess, and then the epidural abscess, which was the scarier thing, is the thing that was actually pushing on her spinal cord that caused the spinal stroke. And they were worried about another one happening at C2. I have a copy of the MRI on a disc, but I haven't actually seen it with my own eyes. I've only seen MRI 1. So you and I saw it together with Dr. Yi on the 19th, the afternoon or early afternoon, late morning of the 19th, when we decided to wait 24 hours. And, yeah, anyway, praise God, we're so excited to hear that news. It's huge. I thought, just from a logical standpoint, not that I didn't believe it'd be gone, I knew we know your blood was healed on the 22nd of March, which is nuts. It's just gone. You're not septic anymore. But I figured, that thing was huge. It was taking time. And I thought even maybe part of the sensations that you're getting back is because it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And who knows when it was gone? It could have been gone. Like you said, it could have left the 22nd.
Yeah.
I respectfully disagree because I'm pretty sure that we did pain management for quite a few days after that. But that could have just been inflammation. The infection literally could have left. The bummer is we didn't get an MRI right after the 22nd. So we'll never know exactly when, I don't think. But
because they say that you can't have that much radiation, but the doctor here says that's not true. It doesn't give off radiation. They lied to you.
It was a little bit awkward. And then there's a little bit of confusion when we got here. They didn't know that she had a spinal stroke. They're like, "Hey, so how'd you get paralyzed?" Basically. We're like, "Wait, are you serious? We just came from another hospital almost 4 weeks. And the documentation they gave you doesn't," and sure enough, I open our documentation and it's like the discharge instructions and it's like diagnosis or prognosis or whatever it says. And nowhere on it does it say spinal stroke. It said that there was a spinal abscess, which was the infection in the epidural abscess, or the epidural area, the abscess. But pretty crazy. Well, this was a lot longer than I thought it would be, and I shouldn't leave because I'm way past my stay. But I will be back in the morning.
I don't think they care. I don't even think they know the hours here. What? They have so many more important things to do.
They do have a lot of people to take care of per person.
Yeah, each person requires a lot.
What I mean is each
each nurse
person,
has.
so nurse or CNA, certified nurse assistant, or registered nurse RN, is spread pretty thin.
Yeah, but the OTs and the PTs, man, they're phenomenal. They're so good.
The physical therapist and the occupational therapist.
Really enjoy working with them. And
when you graduated out of speech therapy today?
Yeah, I got to do speech, which means I get to do an extra 30 minutes of OT and PT.
Each.
Which is exciting because it gets me closer to my goal.
quicker, yeah.
And I tell them anytime that they tell me, can you do this, or you want to do this, and I always just say, whatever you want me to do, I will do. And then today the physical therapist asked me, how are you feeling? Because my blood pressure kept going in and out, or going low. And I just looked at her and I just said, determined. And she laughed. Because that is how I feel. I will literally just do whatever they tell me as hard as I can, as many reps. My OT, occupational therapy, had to keep telling me, he kept asking, are you good? I'm like, yep.
Because he kept pushing you, or what?
Yeah, and are you good? Yep. He's like, you need to be honest with me. No, you're not. You need a break. But my thing is, like, you gotta push yourself. So he liked my attitude though, and
That was Jeremiah today.
Jeremiah.
He's a believer, and he plays the guitar. We ran into each other the other day.
He said he was bummed that I'm not on his list of clients. It was just today.
Because it's the weekend. It's like a special thing.
But yeah, I just literally do whatever they tell me, and trust the process. It is hard to take it day by day because I want more progress. Because I want to get out of here.
Your scar's like gonna be invisible, babe. When all this scab and glue comes all the way off. I want to take this big piece off, but I'm not going to.
That's sad.
It legit just looks like a wrinkle. But
all this and I don't even get a scar. That sucks.
The skeptics will say she never had surgery. This was fake. When they see you walking around, she never had a spinal stroke.
I love it because all the therapists are just even probably more optimistic than myself. Yep, you're gonna walk. You know, they just they really speak life. So that's very cool. Even the doctors, I don't think I've heard one negative.
Well, and to be fair, Dr. Mantic, who's the doctor overseeing her case here, he said, I don't lie to patients, and I don't give them false hope. And he's the one that told you in his diagnosis, just from not a supernatural, but just a natural perspective of everything that he sees going on, you have a 100% chance of walking with it by the end of a year.
Yeah.
Which is, we need to do it way faster so people know it's God. God, we need you to come through
you talk that
way faster than what even the optimists here think can happen, so that it is unmistakably you. Lord, please do it. Don't let it just happen at a normal pace.
So a couple things if you guys want things to pray about. My sleep, because my body needs it.
Sleep.
To rejuvenate. To get my head in the spiritual game. So there's so many sensory overloads going on right now in my body. My brain can't process it all. So I'm physically on overload. And I need to keep my eyes spiritual. And I'm having a very difficult time doing that.
So to open a spiritual can of butt whooping.
Yeah. I noticed that in San Antonio, when I was in life support, ICU and all that stuff, a lot of people came and they spoke life and supernatural healing, and they really kept me focused in on that. I've noticed that when I got to rehab, I feel like it's gone silent because people are just expecting I'm going to do the natural rehab thing.
And get some of your function back.
Yeah, but I want to encourage you guys who were praying for supernatural healing in San Antonio. I want the same still for here.
Amen.
And
praise God.
Don't stop sending those encouraging messages, because every time you speak life, my faith increases. Faith comes by hearing. Then when Jesus couldn't do miracles, he went about teaching and preaching. So when I get into unbelief and I hear your guys' encouragement and your speaking the word, especially because I can't pick up the Bible. But just hearing it in my ears, it brings life to me. So I am asking that you guys please continue to contend for that supernatural, and with your words, please. Also, I don't know if this is something that you guys would pray for, but just what I'm praying for myself is maybe even more than walking. I want an encounter with God. I love that God speaks through people, and He's been using people. But it's like if Stephen only told me he loved me through people. I want to have an intimate moment, encounter, or dream with the Lord.
Or Jesus to walk in here.
Yeah. But something that I can hold on to, that tells me He's with me. But I want it from Him directly. I've been asking probably for a month. Every time I go to sleep, I go to sleep with anticipation that maybe. And anyway, so that's my prayer right now. Like I said, probably even more than walking. I just need to know from Him that He hears me, and we're in this together, me and Him. So that's just a little bit of insight on what's going on with me.
And the prayer request. So the third one is that people continue to pray and believe along the lines of a supernatural full recovery for you, better than you walked into the hospital, and that they would speak life as well. That's kind of like, there's a prayer request and then just like a request, like, hey, continue to send encouraging texts to me or to her, if you have the ability to do that, or wherever else, on direct messages on Instagram. I know Kristen passes us a lot of direct messages.
Yeah.
And
Hebrews says that imitate those who through Christ, or through faith and patience, don't grow weary in doing good. You guys are all contending for this miracle, which I so appreciate.
We will reap if we don't lose heart.
But yet, just because it's taking longer than we anticipated, please don't, what would be the word?
Don't lose heart.
Yeah, don't lose heart.
Because we will reap if we don't lose heart.
God's going to do something. We have to continue to remember that. Even though I struggle with that, because I still can't move most of my body. But I hope you guys continue to fight this battle with us. And I so appreciate this army that's rallied around us.
Amen. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
I don't take it lightly. But I also don't want it to be a fad. You know, like, oh, she got paralyzed. We all prayed and rallied around. But it took longer, and then nobody cared, and everybody went back to life. And she's just paralyzed, you know.
And we get that people have lives and things to get back to. But this being a piece of what crosses your mind every day, don't let the enemy come and rob the testimony of what God is doing, has done, is doing, and will do through this, and just dismiss it off as some natural progression of events. This is a supernatural thing. We have so many things that we haven't shared that we would just feel weird about sharing, that the Lord has shown us, spoken to us, and that we believe, that really help us when we get in a place of like, oh, and we get reminded, no, this is God. And we have to remind each other every so often of these things. And there's a few other people who are aware of some of these things, but we haven't made them public. Anyway, so sleep. I was trying to make a list, that's why I've had my fingers up. I'm going to just wait. The fourth thing, after people praying and believing with us for the supernatural thing, along with encouraging you as they can. There was a fourth thing, and I've already forgot what it was.
I think it was just no losing heart. Was there a fourth thing? Just me asking the Lord.
Oh,
That's
for your
not for me.
encounter. For your encounter.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's for me.
No, but so these are the things that we need to pray for. We need to pray that she sleeps well tonight and continues to sleep well night by night. We need to pray the number 2 thing that I forgot. I will come back to it. The number 3 thing is to continue to believe and have faith and patience and all of that. That God is going to do what he said he's going to do. He's going to complete it. And number 4, that Jessica has this encounter that she's been praying for. Be it a vision or a dream or an actual appearing.
That'd be cool.
What if it's an angel? You want it to be Jesus, not a messenger in your dream or whatever.
I just need to know he's with me.
You already have 4 angels in the ICU room. I know you weren't sure what they were, but they were angels. What was the second thing? Well, we could just rewind this later and look and remember. But if you remember what it is, please pray for whatever the second thing was. To sleep, continue to have faith and patience, and pray and believe for the supernatural miracle. And encourage Jessica as you see fit and have the ability to do so. And that pray that she has this encounter with the Lord. Not just for personal comfort either. I believe that the Lord has instruction for her.
Yeah.
That's going to really direct the rest of her life and the ministry that God has for her. We need to wrap up real quick. I know what the last 2 stones or keys are. So we have praise, testimony, joy through humor, and faith and patience.
The 2 hardest ones.
Hebrews 6:12, 6:8, 6:12. Let us imitate those who through faith and patience receive the promises. It's easy to have faith for a moment. It's easy to have faith for a day. It's easy to have faith maybe for a week or a month. Oh, but look at the faith of Abraham and Sarah. How many years and years and years? We're not believing for years and years in this, and nor do I think it's going to be it by any means. But it's very easy to lose your faith, so to speak, in something because you don't have patience. You're like, oh, I guess it's just not going to happen.
That's where I'm at, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where I struggle for sure is the endurance part.
Imagine if Daniel just gave up faith on day 20. He wouldn't have got to that 21st day, and we wouldn't have had the record of that angel showing up and telling him, hey, I was held up for 21 days by the prince of the power of Persia.
Yeah.
And Michael the archangel had to come help me. Thank God he didn't give up. Let's not give up.
Yeah.
Faith and patience. Praise, testimony, joy through humor, faith, patience. Those are it. Oh, there's more, of course. But they all, those are kind of our stones, our keys, the roadmap to us pressing through this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, guys. Hope you have a good night or morning whenever you see this.